welcome to another edition of the One Team We Agree On. I'm Jillian.
I'm Kyle. How are you doing today?
Well, if you can't tell, my voice isn't 100%. We would have recorded this earlier, but I had less of a voice.
Darn you, Vegas.
Yeah, what happens in Vegas doesn't always stay in Vegas, I guess,
No, it
because
doesn't.
I must have gotten some kind of cold or something.
I think we both did.
Yeah, for once, I think you gave me a cold or something. Usually it's the other way around.
Anyway, yeah, no. On today's show, we're going to discuss Miami, Charlotte, and Cincinnati. Now, if you haven't been following Jillian on Instagram, we actually posted our kind of mock, like small episode, mini, like what, 5-minute
Just like
episode?
a little live that I did on my personal Instagram.
Yeah, just our thoughts of the games. We did both of them, so go there, check it out. Um, but yeah, we're gonna talk about that. But before we get started, what are we gonna wear today?
I am wearing my Racquinho shirt from MLS Bootlegs. Okay, so it's got the raccoon on there. And Kyle.
Well,
Yeah.
that's timely because after the Charlotte game, I posted the Wolverine and Raquinho meme, and I
Mhm.
said, "Hey, remember when the memories were that we were talking about a raccoon on the pitch other than a Union loss? Well, now the
I mean,
Union.
we still lost when the raccoon ran
Well,
with
yeah,
us,
I know, but
but we
still.
weren't so deep in the losses.
No, now we are. And I am wearing I
Haha.
will burn this place down.
Yes, with the raccoon on it, which I saw that in a store
In Vegas,
in Vegas at one of my favorite places to go, the Miracle Mile shops on the strip.
which is a great place if you've never been.
Yeah, I forget what um
It's a
that
new
store,
place.
yeah, I forget what that store is called, something Attic or something, I forget.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, yeah, you got that shirt and, thought it was too perfect. We don't condone any arson, just for the
Thank you.
record. Yeah, but we
Thank
thought it was too funny given all the comments that people are throwing around.
I know some people are done with the raccoon and the Union Yards thing. I get it, but we're still gonna have fun with this.
Yeah, we are.
We are. We're gonna have fun until we're gonna ride this train until it can't ride no more.
And you know what? You know what can put an end to all of that? The Union actually winning at home, which they still haven't. Spoiler alert, we all knew that though.
Yeah, about that. Anyway, where can people find us?
You can find us on Twitter at TOTWAG, on Instagram and Facebook at The One Team We Agree On. We are on YouTube, The One Team We Agree On, and we have a website, theoneteamweagreeon.com.
Yeah, so Jillian, you put out a great article.
Thank you.
It's got a lot of followers. So if you haven't checked it out yet, it's called The Hope That Kills You. And if you were not on post match from Cincinnati on AAT with Jose, Todd, and Chuck Booth, we were on there live from Vegas.
Yep, from our hotel room.
And I think the whole "It's the Hope That Kills You" is starting to wear its course, but at the same time, it's still getting a lot of interaction.
Yeah, so I actually wrote that for the most part on the plane the morning after the Miami game when we're flying to Vegas. So I had lots of time to think. And so it's my honest thoughts as a Philly fan. So thank you for everyone who read it and liked it and everything. So I appreciate that. And I plan to write some more too, since I am on summer break and actually have a little bit more time to do stuff.
And you can go some more practices and Union 2 matches.
Yes, absolutely.
So we're gonna get started, and basically we're gonna kind of cover Cincinnati and Miami together because everybody else has kind of talked
I
about it.
mean, yeah, it's been
It's been
a little bit.
overplayed.
Yeah.
But we do want to share some of our moments from Miami. It was a beautiful day.
Yeah, it was. And we had a nice time at the tailgate. It was a busy day for us because we had a swim meet in the
Yep.
morning. But yeah, and it was outside. It wasn't too far away, thankfully. So, but yeah, such a nice day out and for once not raining and cold and everything. So we went to the tailgate though, and
And
we
we
did
kind of went
tie-dye.
because tie-dye is our favorite thing. I mean, both
We
of
love
our
doing tie-dye.
swim teams in college and in club, we tie-dyed. And that's one of the fun things we love doing.
I used to do that with my friends all the
Yeah,
time. We tie-dye stuff all the
me
time.
too.
So, um, And thank you to Valerie,
Yes.
Valerie Metzler, because she took our shirts and, um, after we tied them, she took them with her and, um, took care of them then for us because we were gonna be away for almost a week, and, that way the shirts weren't just sitting in our car at the airport. So, thank you, Valerie, and here are the finished product. Here is the one that Kyle did.
Yeah. I kind of went for something different this time. I was just kind of like, I'm just going to try something.
Yeah, I really like how your colors turned out.
They did turn out really nice.
Yeah, so, and
This is actually one of
yeah.
my favorite tie-dyes because
Yeah.
usually I do like 2 or 3 colors. I just kind of went with everything.
Yep, and here's mine, which I went for, like, the kinda swirl pattern.
Yeah.
So, I wish, like, some more of the blue would have showed up in there, but I just kinda went for a rainbow and, yeah, it turned out, so,
Both of them turned out really nice.
yes. Um, so, yeah, those turned out good, and
And so we got some video here to show everybody here.
yep,
Let's go here. Hold on here. So yeah, we're going to share some of the
the Sons of Ben tie-dyeing, which seemed like a lot of people did and enjoyed, and, a lot of people wore their shirts then to the game against Charlotte.
all right, this is not the video screen I want to show.
Oh, Kyle. There.
Oh, cow. Anyway, all right, so we're gonna go up here and show kind of the process. Here's me tie-dye. Mhm. Oh,
Oh, Kyle. There we go.
there we go.
Okay, so yes, Kyle's doing some tie-dyeing.
All right, and then
And then there's me tie-dyeing. I wore my Pride jersey, by the way, for that game.
yeah, and it
Yes.
looks great on you.
Thanks. It's funny because I wore my Pride jersey on Unity night and I wore my Unity top on Pride night
Yeah.
because it just I felt like
And
that.
here's kind of the finished
Yeah.
product.
Yeah, there's me with my tie-dye. Okay. And
And
then
then
mhm.
we had Dave Leno.
Yep, so Dave Leno and Sage Hurley doing the chalk talk forehand.
Yeah, and then
They've been doing a great job with that and you know, getting crowd prepared for the game, going over notes with the teams and everything.
so then we went in the union shop
Yep.
and I saw this
Yep.
nice piece.
So and if you're just listening, I like to give visual descriptions here too. So it's a kind of cream colored shirt with it's got like more of like a photo kind of quality of a snake that has Philadelphia Union on it. I like it too. Very tempted to get that.
I am as well. I really like it how it's got the bridge, it's got the stadium, and there's this big old, I think that's a rhino viper. But anyway, it's a snake.
Leave it to you to know specifically.
Yep.
And that yeah, another, because that's a different shirt, not the is that
Yeah.
this that's not the front of the shirt, that's a different one, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, kind of another, like, off-white kind of shirt with Philadelphia Union, Fight for Philly on it, and then
Okay.
one that's,
There's that one.
just kind of like tan with dupe. Now, this scarf, it's just kind of, like, tan,
Yeah, it's kind
and
of
it's got kind of an
bland.
embossed kind of
I kind of like it.
snake. You do?
I do. And like you were like, I hate it. I kind of like it. It's
It
just
just doesn't really stand out.
I know, but I kind of like it.
I thought your initial reaction is you're like, for that price, I wouldn't do
For
that."
that price, no. But if it was like for like $10, I'd buy it.
Yeah.
It's different.
It's just all one color with an embossed kind of snake on it, which so it's okay.
It's okay.
You know me. Well, when you see the scarf I bought on Saturday, you'll see why I don't like it. Anyway, and then they had the players for change. It says I am, and then players for change, and it has 19 on the back.
Yep.
So it's like their Juneteenth kind of shirt. And I thought I gave you a picture of the back of it, but you don't have it there. But yeah.
Anyway, no. No, I thought I like the snake one. I like the union with like Fight for Philly at the bottom.
Yeah.
And I like the scarf. If it's for the right price, I'll get it. I mean, you could wear it with a couple things like the camo.
Yeah.
You can wear it with the camo.
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
Yeah, it would look fine.
So, then we went in the stadium and
Yeah, and Kyle, you actually were in the stands.
I was. It was my birthday, the day before my birthday, so we had a fun tailgate. It was a good crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Got to hang out, and it was fun for the. I think this is like the first time we've been in the stands together this year.
It was. It's been a while since we were in the stands, dating back to like League's Cup of last year. I
Yeah.
think so.
It was fun. I had a blast, got to hang out with our friends again. And one of my favorite memories from the night was people showing up thinking, hey, Messi's gonna play.
Oh my gosh. All the people in Messi stuff, and then some of our friends saying, Messi's not going to be here.
And I felt bad for the kids like crying, like
Well, people need to do their research.
they do. So anyway, we chanted this chant in the river.
Where is Messi? Where is Messi?
There's Jay chanting it.
Messi?
So we were chanting, "Where's Messi?" and that was fun. Go ahead, stop it.
Yeah.
Um, that was fun.
Yeah.
But that was kind of, it was scores early on, and we're like, "Yay!" And I'm like, "Hey, it's a great birthday gift for
Yeah. As
me.
soon as it was scored, I'm like, oh.
It's a birthday gift." And then the fun died.
Yeah.
And let's talk about this. So, no Julian, he's back to Buenos Aires.
Yeah. Just saw on his Instagram story him like in the car with a mate in Buenos Aires. And well, yeah, he gone.
He gone.
uh
But,
yes.
you know, you think the game's off to good starts, 1-0.
Yep.
And I blow it. I jinxed it.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Okay, so um
So let
yeah, but
me
you want to tell how you jinxed it, or do you want me to tell it?
I'll tell him how I jinxed it. So you ever watch Chappelle Show? And when hooking up goes wrong. So there's that skit they did where, like at the end of the night, some guy would try to come on a girl and just go bad. So I'm walking up, people are like, "How you feeling? How you feeling?" I'm like, "Well, Miami scores in the opening minutes of the second half." And what do they do?
Not only that, you came up in our section and you're like, yeah, that this whatever data about Miami scoring in the second half, the first 5 minutes of the second half, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, shut up, shut up, shut up.
Boom.
And then it happened, and then I wanted to wring your neck.
That's where data goes
I got
bad.
really mad. And I'm like, you jinxed it. And I was
Did
like,
I
I
though?
was really mad at you.
The data does not lie. Stats don't lie.
And I apologize. I was mad at you.
I don't care. I thought it was funny. And then when the Union were down 10 men, I turned to everybody. I'm like, yeah, that's
The
not
Union
good.
weren't down to 10 men. You
I
mean
mean,
Miami.
Miami was down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Oh, and when Miami was down to 10 men, people in our section are like, and we're gonna lose.
and I posted a data stat that I've been finding where I've been going with the Union up. And yeah.
And then when there's a two-man advantage, I'm like, oh boy.
Anyway,
You would think that would set up Union well, but no. As we all know the outcome.
no,
No.
Miami scores in extra time. Everybody leaves sad and unhappy. And
And to me, it was disgusting. It was gross. The amount of cheering that went on when Miami scored, especially the second goal, though.
there was a guy
Seeing
saying
their team run on the field and people just cheering like crazy around the stadium, it was gross.
the funny thing about that. I turned to Eric. I'm like, well. And he looks at me and just kind of smiles. And I'm like, we're like, well, you guys have been here before us. And this guy from Miami's like, oh man, you called it. I'm like, I turned to him. I'm like, dude, where were you?
Oh yeah, there were people in 136 right behind us
And I
in
asked,
opposing team
the
colors.
best part was I asked him, I'm like, are you a lifelong Inter Miami fan? He's like, no, I just started following him. Me and my girlfriend followed him for Messi. I'm like, then why are you here?
They're wearing pink and black. They weren't in Miami like
Yeah. And I'm
stuff,
like, then why are
but
you
they were in
here?
pink and black and they were behind us. And yeah, like
And I
security
just
didn't do
basically, I was like, why are you here? And he's like, well, we wanted to see Messi, but we support the team. So I said, when are you from Philly? He goes, yeah, we live in Philly. I'm just like, so when Messi leaves, will you follow the club? He's like, I don't know. I don't know. And I just was like, I wanted to be like, then why are you here? But I didn't want to
Mhm.
be that douche. But probably should have been.
Yeah, fake fans.
Anyway, yeah, there's a lot of fake Inter Miami fans.
Yeah.
And Todd, Jose, you can send that to Battered Herons podcast and tell them they're fake fans as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, they are fake fans. A lot of those Inter Miami fans, like your cousin Bobby.
Yeah.
A lot of lifelong Inter Miami fans that I would tell Battered Herons, you're not fake fan. Well, they're not fake fans, actually. Those guys have been day one. So,
I feel
and,
bad for their real fans that have just gotten
like Battered
like
Herons.
everything. Yeah,
Like,
like
and
that.
like, there's a couple really
All
good
their
people.
prices went up. Everything like
Yeah, no, I
crazy.
feel bad for them.
Yeah.
But this is a bigger issue. And then it streams to Cincinnati.
Yes.
Now, Cincinnati, second in the league. We get, we can talk about Oliver Zemla all we want that game.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a poor performance.
Yeah. I mean, getting chipped.
Yeah.
That was bad.
First goal, second goal were bad. You can't leave Luciano Costa. Nope. To do Lucio Costa's
Yeah.
things.
To the Union's credit, they fought back the first 3 times they got scored on.
And Ty Baribo was the bright spot.
Yes, and so let us talk about Ty Baribo. So, of course, we're in Vegas, and we're watching this. We're watching it at the hotel, and before the game, even I said, "Ty's gonna score a brace." That's
Yeah.
me just talking out, my whatever. But I'm like, "Yeah, Ty's gonna score a brace." And then our friend Todd Lewis, he's like, I think it was Todd. Was it Todd or Jose?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, yeah.
I think it was both of them.
Maybe it was both of them. They're like, you should put money on that. You're in Vegas. And I'm like, yeah, I don't really do sports betting. Okay. Well, we all know the result. And man, I should have done that because I called that.
1,600 on Circus Sports.
Well, anyway.
A $20 bet basically paid for half a trip.
That would have been sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, not good, Jillian.
So next time I have a feeling, I'm putting money on that. But most of the time I'm wrong on those things. So that was unprecedented that actually happened. But how about it? Like that was a huge bright spot. And
it was. I thought Ua and
Choo Choo having a goal was a big bright spot too.
It was.
And we were so close to the narrative being, hey, Ty had a brace. Jesus Bueno scored. It was awesome. The Union battled back, but then of course, in the 100th minute, I still don't know how we ended up with 10 minutes of stoppage time. But anyway,
but beyond that,
we cough up that very late goal after some blunders. And I'm not going to pin it all on Marcus Anderson, but that was
a blunder.
That was a big blunder. He's taking the ball. That all he had to do was, cross over to Quinn, who's waving his arms wildly, or run it down and to the corner or whatever. But no, it gets coughed up, and Costa does his thing.
Hey, great players do great things, and
Yeah.
So we go on AAT at the end.
Yeah.
And, it's just. And I agree with Todd today on his podcast. If you haven't listened to Free Kick, go listen to it. Good breakdown. Defense is really hindering the offense, I feel. And
Defense is getting cooked. There's no two ways around it. The defense is getting cooked.
Everybody's getting cooked. Maybe not Kai as much, but
I'd say, yeah. Kai is not usually,
but even still, like, there's just too many uncharacteristic mistakes. Now, having said that, I think a lot of it has to do with age. I think a lot of it has to do with minutes. But
Todd brought up really good points on his recent podcast for Free Kick about the minutes that Jacob Glesnes has had compared to the others.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, ladies and gentlemen, this is your 2024 Philadelphia Union team. We got to deal with it, and we got to support them. And
just think if we still had Stu.
Let's not bring up Stu for this episode. I know we love Stu and shout out to Stu, but
yeah,
I mean, it is what it is, and I don't know if this is one of those situations where you got injuries, you got people out, We saw this coming a mile away.
That's the
Fans,
thing, and yeah,
fans saw us coming a mile
we
away.
saw it coming a mile away. We knew there were gonna be players missing, and here we
Nothing
are.
happened.
And we didn't win the games that needed to be won before all the players were missing. We didn't get the results.
I mean, Kevin Kincaid put it best. The Miami game was probably one of the worst Union losses ever.
Yeah, well, when you have a 2-man advantage,
You
yeah,
should win.
yeah, terrible, terrible.
So, anyway, let's not dwell on that.
Yeah.
I
So to just wrap up Cincinnati, I was pleased to see the Union fight back at least.
yeah,
It was encouraging, even though they lost and gave up that late goal. It was encouraging to see them scoring and playing with some effort like they did and coming back at it. And so I thought, okay, maybe we can turn the corner. Maybe we're heading more in the right direction, even though it was a loss, maybe more in the right direction heading into a game against Charlotte at home. And of course, well, we'll
here's the thing.
segue into that.
I'm gonna say this to a couple fans that out there that I still see on social media that say this team has no heart. This team plays their ass off. The players that are on the pitch will always play. Maybe not so much at Charlotte, because we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
But I will say these players play their butt off.
And I will say, like,
They
the
fight
last
for the badge.
they do. They do. And I feel bad because I know they want to win.
They do.
They really do. It's not like they're not trying, but there's mental mistakes that are happening. And
And
they're
that's fatigue.
yeah. And I will say for the last 2 games, I don't know if anyone's played harder than Ty Baribo and Leon
Yes.
Flock, probably. I would say Ty and Leon.
Leon died out there.
I mean, he gave it his all. He's been one of the ones in best form, honestly, like consistently.
I mean, he's working his butt off.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
I know
motivated.
Ty was looking gassed by the end of the Charlotte game,
Yeah.
which we'll get into, but like, you know, I think that's been amidst all the doom and gloom. A bright spot was Ty finally getting his chances and seizing the opportunities.
Right.
So, and I look for at least that's one thing I'm excited to see more of, see what he can do. Because
I'm really
yeah,
excited about him and Mikel.
yeah,
I think they're going to
they
complement
start to
each
really
other.
click. Yeah,
I think it could be good. And
yeah.
we get Gazda back, see how they all pair together. I
Yes,
mean, there's a lot of what ifs here.
yeah,
Let's be honest. There's a lot of what ifs.
there are.
And I know Jim says, hey, we get everybody back. We still make a run. They can.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it, they can.
So
Will it be MLS Cup? Probably not.
we just need to sneak into the playoffs at this point. And who knows, maybe we do something well in Leagues Cup. Oh, and by the way, we're going to see Charlotte again very
I
soon.
mean,
Which let's talk about Charlotte.
well, before we talk about Charlotte, let's talk about a Union player on loan.
Yeah.
So we were on vacation.
Okay. Yeah.
So for those of you that were not aware, we were on vacation this past week. We were in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were in Las Vegas, and this is a view from our hotel balcony.
Yeah, we stayed at the Cosmopolitan, my favorite hotel in Vegas.
So on Tuesday night, we went to see the Las Vegas Lights versus the Colorado Switchbacks. We got to see Matt Real.
Yes.
So
here's the stadium, Cashman Field. So it used to be the home of the Las Vegas 51s, minor league baseball team. Now they have the Aviators who play elsewhere, but it's been made into a proper soccer field since last time we were there, actually.
So if you want to go back, what episode of Talking Vegas All Day with KA was that?
I don't know.
I don't know either, but
we were last here in 2022, and I remember
it was the Toronto game.
The Union were away at Toronto.
And it was their first loss of the year.
It was back in 2022. Yep. I remember sitting in the stands and watching the game on my phone while being at the Lights game.
So since then, they used to have like open field in the back, and it was just like they used to have cars where you're seeing the seats on the other side there. They used to have cars drive up, and it used to just not be a really nice place. They've really upgraded since Jose Batista took over as the owner. You might remember him from Toronto, power hitter, all-star. He he took over the ownership of the lights. And so we got to go back now. It's the first time in 2 years. So we saw that.
Yeah, and I wanna and also, let's talk about when we first got there too.
Okay, let's talk about these supporters. These are like some of the most inviting supporters we saw.
So we get to the stadium, and out on the lawn outside the entrance, there's a bunch of supporters there, and
Like seven
they
or
got
eight.
yeah, and they've got cooler, and they're drinking beers, and they're like, and they wave, they're like, "Hey, you want to come have a beer with us?"
Yeah.
And we're like, "Okay."
And so the one guy had DC United
Yeah,
because
yeah, DC United.
I guess a guy from DC United's on loan from um to Las Vegas, and then there was a couple other MLS guys.
Yeah,
So we got in this whole discussion. There was a guy from LAFC that was a big time supporter, but because that was their second team for a long time. I mean,
yeah,
Steve Trungolo coached here. So it was just this whole discussion about what's happened since 2022 to 2024, which was really interesting. The
yeah,
improvement of the team on the field. And if you don't want to listen to this, you can skip ahead about 10 minutes. But like just with like the suites, those weren't there. It's a more soccer specific stadium now.
yeah. Yeah, it is. So it definitely much better. But yeah, shout out to the supporters that we were hanging out with. Super nice. And then yeah, we went in, and we were sitting in kind of the supporter section, which, I mean, let's be honest, there wasn't much of a crowd. There was also a Tuesday night, which
Yeah.
I know factored into it. But
They had the drums still.
yeah, yeah,
It
they had
was a
some
small
drumming.
group, but so per union protocol, Matt Real did not start.
Yeah, he came in late in the game.
He did, but he came in. So
Yep.
here's at the night, and I love this view
I know. It was a
with the mountains
spectacular view.
background.
The sunset was really pretty, and you had the mountains in the background, and just like, and if you looked to the right too, you'd see the mountains too, so it kind of surrounds it. So yeah, really nice. And it was kind of a back and forth game because
It ended up in a 3-3 draw,
yeah, they kept just tying it up. Yeah. So
and then Matt Real comes in. And so yeah, he comes in. That was kind of the end of the game,
yeah.
and it was a 3-3 draw.
So you have a clip of him playing that I sent to you?
Um, we do. It did not upload.
Okay, well, if you wanna see it, I posted these things on my Instagram, on my, I posted them on my Twitter, silly double underscore Jilly.
Yeah. So I mean, I'll be honest with you. Matt Real fit right in. I mean, I think he's a USL player.
Yeah, I mean, he fit, it's just good to see him get some playing time and see what he's got.
I do. I think maybe if he takes the next steps, get some more minutes, sure, maybe he can be a bench player like he is now. But I think he's done very well in USL.
Yeah.
I mean, their first loss since he's joined the team was this Saturday at New Mexico. They lost 1-0.
Yeah.
So, and spoiler alert, guess who's coming on the podcast tomorrow?
Matt Real.
So you heard first, folks. Matt Real will be on the podcast. Listen to it later this week. Probably try to drop it before we leave for Montreal. But
Yes, and yes, we are going to Montreal this weekend for the away game. So if you are heading to Montreal, let us know. And
yeah, we'd love to meet
yeah,
up.
absolutely.
So let's get into Charlotte. So spoiler alert, I was supposed to go in the press box. You're gonna be in the river end. I got a really bad sinus infection, like to the point like we were gonna go coach on Saturday. I had no voice.
He had no voice, so I had to go drive out to Chambersburg for our swim meet and coach there.
Meanwhile, I was in urgent care.
Yeah, and so, of course, his whole debate is, "Okay, am I gonna be okay to go to the game?" So, I get home from our swim meet, and he's not good, and we got in the car, and Kyle, you're like, I could see it in your face, you're just suffering,
I was, but I was gonna
and it was
try to
also
make
gonna be
it.
really hot out too, and I'm like, "Kyle, this is not gonna be good. Not
And
be
I
good."
knew it, but I was trying to get there.
I know. So, long story short, we got we were for like a minute from our house. We turned around, and then I drove myself to Subaru Park, and I was in the stands, and yeah, Kyle was at home. So did you watch it with the Dave Leno feed on there?
No. So funny story. I went after she dropped me off. My drugs were ready, so I went and picked them up. Went
Mhm.
home, took them, and I went to bed.
Yep.
And so Philly Rover and a whole bunch of other guys are gonna get a laugh out of this, but I fell asleep and I woke up. It was 1-0 Union. Like
So
I
in other words,
literally
you should have stayed asleep, just like you slept through the Portland game, which we won. Had you stayed asleep, maybe the result would have been different.
maybe, but I actually was watching like the 6:30 pregame. And I finally, was driving home, took my antibiotic, and it just knocked me out. Like, I was, literally out, and then so I woke up as 1-0. But so I guess for this part, we're gonna rely on you because I
Yeah.
saw nothing.
Yes.
So
Yes, I
talk
will.
about
I
you
will talk
showing up,
about it all.
and also talk about how Todd Lewis came up and asked if, "Are you okay on water?" Because
Okay, yeah, just
all
you're
right.
I will. So, all right. So it was really weird, first of all, me driving to Subaru Park by myself. Now I've done that before for a Union 2 game, which was also weird to do that, but way more weird going to a regular Union game without you.
Yeah.
And I never would have dreamed about doing something like this a few years ago. But I have to give credit to all of our Union family, all the
Yeah.
community. I the fact that I could go without you, Kyle, and went and had plenty of people to hang out with, and it was fine, especially because I can be so introverted
Yeah.
and, not be as outgoing, and I'm definitely out of my comfort zone. That was big. So I got there around 4, I want to say, and went to the tailgate. I was hanging out with our friends there, and shout out to Drew and Valerie, Ken, all different people
Mhm.
we were seeing there and hanging out with. And so, yeah, hang out at the tailgate. Todd got there eventually, and and it was hot, but we had a good spot under like the shade. And
Yeah.
as Drew was saying, thank God for the overpass giving shade.
Yeah.
uh, that was huge. So anyway, Todd gets there and he's like, "Well, I was talking to Kyle and he wanted to make sure that you were drinking enough water and you're not going to pass out and all that." So, and I was like, "Yes, I'm be good. I am doing the 1-to-1. I've got one, drink, and I have, to one bottle of water or whatever. I was doing
Yeah.
a 1-to-1, okay? Because Kyle, I almost passed out a Phillies game once. I almost passed out. I got heat exhaustion at a Phillies game, and
Twice. There was 2 times.
I only recall one time.
I remember that one time, but there was another time we were there for Sunday game and you were getting, really dizzy, and I had to run up and grab, 2 waters for
Well,
you.
that was the one I'm talking about.
No, there was another one. We didn't go up. We didn't go up in the concourse.
The time we went in the concourse, yeah.
You had to
So,
sit down.
yeah, it was bad. Like, it was like a July game, and this was, gosh, probably back in like 2011
Yeah,
or something
it
like
was a long
2010. So
time
it was a
ago.
while ago. And I had seats in the 100 level, 112, I think it was. Anyway, so yeah, the sun was getting to me, and my ears like were closing up and ringing, and I was like this close to passing out, and
Yeah.
I hadn't drank enough water. So I I learned from that. Okay. And yes, I was hydrating quite frequently. In fact, now the union were letting, because of the heat advisory, letting fans bring in unopened bottles of water or
Mhm.
empty reusable water bottles. So, of course, on my way to the game, I got a like, huge bottle of water from Wawa, as I would always do for the Phillies games too. And plus, I got one of those body armor quick hydration,
Yeah.
bottles. And so I had that too on hand. So I was prepared. Okay. And so first of all, I think the union should let fans bring in sealed water bottles all the time.
I do
The
too.
Phillies let you do it. Now, I get it. The Phillies also have way bigger, amount of money that they bring in. But really, when you're union, what are you doing? You're charging 6.50 for a bottle of water. Okay. It is
I
a
agree.
basic necessity. And when it is, there's games where it's maybe not heat advisory 90, but it's still hot, and you can have people passing out and everything, and it just makes the fan experience just that much more enjoyable. Okay, let people bring in water. It's not asking that much.
And have wash stations readily
We're still
available.
gonna buy bottles of water.
Yeah, people are gonna forget. Like,
Yeah,
just make it better. It's not that big of a deal. I get the money aspect. I get smaller market, smaller team, but
just when especially right now, when the fans are not
upset.
happy, they are irate. There's some little things you can do to make the fan base just a little bit happier. Let us bring in water bottles, okay? Unopened bottles of water, okay? Just do it. It's not people are still going to buy water bottles, I guarantee it. Okay? And it'll make it a little easier on the families maybe who have to,
Have
you
three,
know,
four
yeah,
kids. I mean,
yeah,
right,
just make that fan experience better. I mean, I could go into a lot of other things that the union can
right.
do. Pave the lots, for instance, for
Well,
what they charge,
that's
but
not this
let's not
episode.
open up that whole can of worms.
Oh,
Get the
we
water
should.
bottles.
You know what? We should have the episode like Festivus. Let's just air grievances.
Air grievances, yes. Anyway, but
Heck,
just
even in the
not
media, we can have grievances.
and speaking of media, so Todd and I had it in and so we headed in and I saw the puppies, of course, on my way and had to always get to
I
the
like that
puppies.
puppy.
The puppies were really cute.
They were.
Yeah. And so went up and of course I tried to head in a little bit earlier today because I saw they had a giveaway and most of the time when I march in, and full disclosure to my fellow SOBs, I didn't march in this time for a couple of reasons, but I wanted to get in because just to get situated. But anyway, I did get the giveaway, and there were plenty of them at that time. I saw there was I know I gave you a picture, Kyle, of the
Yeah.
stacks of them, but
Yeah.
so it
So
comes in a nice little bag,
we'll share that.
okay? And it's like a towel. I don't know, like it's a towel, but it doesn't really it
It's like
feels
a
more like
flag.
it's more like yeah, it's not really a towel though. It's more I mean it's doesn't feel like towel material, but yeah, it's almost like a flag. But
Yeah.
yeah. I
It
mean, I
does
suppose
feel.
you could it's more like a blanket almost. Like you could yeah, you could like lay on the beach with that or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's got the Union snake on there and it's basically the, pride flag. So
It's cool.
yeah, so I got that. So that's
So
pretty
we'll
cool.
share some of these slides from the game.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go. All right. We'll keep moving. All right.
All right. So yeah, they actually for once had plenty of giveaway items. And that's another thing I was gonna say though. Union do better at having enough giveaway items because like when they gave away the headbands and some of the
Yeah.
things were gone in a nanosecond. So you want to make fans happier, at least have enough of the giveaway
It goes
items.
back to what we said. The union really, I don't think at times figure that this, well, I think they know they've gotten big, but also I don't know if they've always planned for them being this big.
Yeah. I mean, what does it hurt? Because I know they've had the giveaway items then that you could use your points for and stuff. So in the union stores, well, I didn't go in the regular store. I just went over to yeah. I just went over to the stand that is the one by the media entrance, by that main entrance that's over there. So they had the soccer for all shirt. I really like this. It has the kind of pastel rainbowy coloring on it with the bridge and soccer ball and a flag, and this little snake in there. So I thought that was cute. It was, I think, $50, and I was like, not today. Now, if I find it marked down, yeah, I'd get it. And then the scarf, the pride scarf, I did buy that, and there's me having it in the river end, and a I have it here too. I can share it then, but that's what it looks like. And I thought it was really pretty. It's got the snake scales, and the rainbow coloring to it. On the other side, it has PHL Snake Union, in rainbow letters. So, and yeah, so that's that. And, um, that was, I want to say it ran about $40. I didn't really see anything else in the team store that I was interested in. They have had a few new items, but the one thing I really wish they were selling was those Juneteenth, well, like, no, the Unity shirts. The Unity
Right.
shirts had the flowers and the U. They're auctioning those off, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So, anyway, you can,
So somebody's like, Jim's back, baby.
yeah.
Alright, that's funny. I love that.
Yeah.
And then here's smoke. Doug's kids are like,
Yeah, so and just, like, going back to the first one that you showed,
yeah.
so I took video of Jim because I was, like, kinda talking to someone, and then I hear, like, lots of cheering. I look over, and it's Jim coming on the field, and everyone's, like, really cheering because he was not wearing a suit. Now, I d it considering it was over 90 degrees out,
Yeah.
that makes sense, but we had casual Jim, and, you look great. You looked
And
great,
just
Jim. Please keep doing that, but
like lucky jerseys didn't matter.
it didn't matter because I went over my Unity top thinking, "Okay, up until that point, it was immaculate at home. Had not lost a home game wearing that jersey, and now I have." So, um, also, I did say I would share the actual scarf that I got here. So I do like this. So that's what I did. You saw the one side there, but there's the other side. So, yeah, and the s- there was the rainbow smoke that was put out, and it was really thick. We're all like, maybe that's why I had such a, maybe that's why I had such a
Right.
no, that's why I lost my voice. That and yelling chants. No, um, so it was really thick, and then we did have a tifo, and uh, so that was pulled down. That looked good. Um,
So yeah, let's before we get to the final wrap up, the game, I mean, you lost 2-0. I
yeah.
mean, Andrew Rick was in net.
Yeah, and a lot of people were like excited about that. And when I saw the lineup, actually it was with Todd when the lineup got released.
Yeah,
And we're
what
like,
was your thoughts?
I was like, oh, Andrew Rick. Okay, well, let's see what he's got. And um, looking at the lineup, we're like, okay, Rafa's getting a start. Okay. Ty, obviously we expected, and
Yeah.
we're just like, okay, let's see what they got. And seeing CJ only on the bench,
And then seeing CJ Olinick,
CJ got in, and congrats to CJ. I mean, there was a lot that was not great about the game, but I will say this, a couple points that I have. Andrew Rick, I thought he did a good job.
all things considered, I mean, Jake Gless has let him down twice.
Yeah, yeah. And I thought, Rick had some really good saves. He had that one really good save at the end there, especially. And
Yeah,
so, I mean, it's a big ask having an 18-year-old come make his debut
it
like that,
is.
especially when the Union are on this losing streak. And so Jim said he was trying to, create a spark there and also give Oliver a game off to, just give him a break, mental and physical break there, especially after the game he had against Cincinnati.
Mhm.
So, um, I thought Rick did good. The fans were really excited. Of course, a bunch of the Bridge Brigade guys, they're nearby us and they're in 137 there, and
Yeah.
they were all chanting, to Rick and everything. So that was great. And but yeah, and congrats to CJ only for getting a start too. Or not start, but he got subbed in. And I thought Ty played his butt off again.
Well, where are you with the Mikkel tie?
I think, that pairing could be real good. And
I saw some people say Mikkel was, but let's put it this way. I thought I went back and watched some of the game. I thought he was fine. It's just,
it was
again,
fine.
he wasn't anything great, but he didn't get much action. He got
No,
like
yeah.
one good shot that kind of got
Well,
blocked.
I think the trajectory of the game changes if that ball that Ty that ball that Ty had
Absolutely, it opens
in the
up.
like fourth minute or
Now,
whatever, that almost rolled in for a goal, but unfortunately
and
it just didn't
credit
have
to
enough.
him to see the guy.
Yeah,
He's playing like an MVP candidate
yeah,
right now. I mean, he's one of the best goalkeepers in MLS to actually have that awareness and that
yeah.
hustle. I mean,
I commend
Ty,
Ty for that. That was phenomenal.
we talk about missing Julian, and I'm not saying Trust me, I'm not saying Ty's Julian. I'm not saying
No.
that at all. Let's see some consistency.
Yeah.
Let's see some actual like production. But his hustle's impressive.
Yeah.
He works.
I
And
I
maybe
just
it's
want
just something that in practice he doesn't work as hard because he's saving his energy for the game.
yeah, I wanna know how crappy of a player was he at practice, because he sure doesn't look like that now. Maybe it's changed. Maybe he's picked it up. I don't know.
Maybe I don't
'Cause
know.
I don't profess to know more than, like,
And
Jim, the
again,
coaching
he
staff
has 2
does.
goals on the season.
Yeah,
Let's see what he does long
but
term.
I
I'm not
appreciate his hustle. I really do.
I do too. I mean, I like that work
Yeah.
ethic.
Yeah.
And if that's what we're gonna do, I mean, that's fine. So when I saw second goal, I mean, I was just like, "Up, here we go again."
Yep.
And then you could see towards the second half, players were getting tired.
Yeah.
Frustration was setting in.
Yeah. And
And I sent you that picture of Spider-Man from Avengers Endgame where it's like, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good
then just
about
like, yeah.
just like drifts away into dust. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, that one hurt.
Yeah. And let me talk about the fans, as I was a
Okay,
part of
so
that.
yeah, can I say something before we go into that?
Okay.
I heard on TV the fans chant and sell the team, and I'm cool with it. I mean, I get it. I mean,
Yeah.
talking to a lot of the OGs, they've done this before, and I get it. Everybody's passionate about it.
Yeah.
I I also think this is great and all, and I see people on social media saying, "Oh, look at all these moves these clubs are making, and Sherman, Union Box, you need to get off your butt and spend money." Do I think anything's gonna happen? No. I mean,
Jim has pretty much said these are who
this is
we
what we
have.
have.
Yep.
I don't think it is. I think what I do hope is if they're gonna punt on the year, if they're gonna truly punt, they commit to the young guys. Because at least then you know what you have.
Yeah. I'd kind
At
of like to
least
see David Vasquez get a
I mean, at
chance.
least you know what you
Bring
have
him off
moving
the
forward,
bench.
and then at the end of the year, say, "All right, it doesn't work out." What you can't do is say, "Okay, you got Kai, you got um, Blake coming back, you got some people that have re-signed. You can still keep some of the core,
Yeah.
but we need some regeneration." Look, the center backs, you need to bring in some fresh center backs.
Are you ready to see McCanya come in at center back?
But it's my thing. I don't
At
know.
this point,
I don't know if McConaughey's is too raw. He
I mean,
might be one of those players that was too raw that just never figured it out, and that's who he is.
can I be honest? After having seen enough Union 2 games at this point, and I know it's a different level, I'd almost like to see Neil Pierre.
But again, that's the
He's
other
not
thing. So
he
I had a discussion today with Todd about that. The level from USL to um,
Union 2 or the
MLS
MLS
Next
Next
Pro
Pro.
is night and day. I
Oh, it
mean, that's
is.
why these USL teams were beating up on Union Two.
This is why Chris Donovan looks like a star at MLS Next Pro.
And Chris Donovan, I'm sorry for you Chris Donovan fans out there. I will say it. And if I'm proven wrong, you can freaking roast me on social media, and I'm sure you will. He's a USL player. Matt Real, for as confident as he looked like a USL player out there, didn't you think?
Yeah.
He looked good.
Hey, and you know what? If that's the level they're gonna thrive at, it's like I knew that I was not a D1 swimmer.
Right.
I went to D2 and I thrived and I did fine and I was happy there.
Now, again,
Okay.
I'm not going to dunk on anybody, but
No.
I'm saying you hope they develop into
Oh,
MLS
yeah,
bench
absolutely.
players or starters.
Absolutely.
But if that's their level, so be it. But my thought is, let's see what this team has.
Yes.
Let's honestly see what this team has, and also fans support them. Now, do you show ownership that we want better? Absolutely. You have that right as fans. I mean, Philly fans, any team. I mean, I'm seeing it right now with the Timberwolves. Made the Western Conference Finals. Alex Rodriguez and Matt Laurie, and you can skip this 2-minute rant here. And Glenn Taylor, for 20 years, we've said sell this team as fans.
Mm-hmm.
He comes back at the 12th hour. Oh, I'm backing out. even though A-Rod, Mark Lawyer said they had the money. Even though ESPN said they didn't have the money, they've shown affidavits saying they had the money. Bottom line, now they're going in the thing, and no one knows what's going to happen. And now they're talking about, guess what the Timberwolves are talking about? Running it back for next year. Where have we heard that term?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
as a Timberwolves fan, I'm like, oh crap. Oh, here we
All
go
right.
again. So
for all the people who are not Timberwolves fans and have just tuned
but
out,
what I'm
just kidding.
saying is this is a reality situation. I've seen this a million times. We talk about all these front office people leaving.
Yeah. So
All I'm saying is this is a reference point for me.
okay.
Not saying that's happening. Sorry for the rant.
Yeah.
2 minutes is done.
So back to my experience in the River End. As I was gonna say, by the 75th minute or so, I would say it was getting pretty doom and gloom there, and people just were not chanting. And even me, I will admit, even me and our friend Jane's there and like a bunch of us there who are normally like very vocal and chanting, we just felt like zapped of anything at that point. Everyone just like, yeah, it was that bad, Kyle. I mean, we chant and stuff, but it was just kind of like the closer we got to the end of the game, we're all just like, oh my goodness. Just
But
like, and
that's the problem.
yeah, and it's
I-
bad when even we are like that. And it just everyone just, well, that's when we start getting really self-deprecating too, though. We're just like, oh no, we suck again. And
but that was fun. That was
yeah.
like kind of we were having fun.
And then there were
with it.
some people who were downright angry in our section and trying to get the whole section to turn their back to the field, and like people going like angry rants. And we're just like,
that's a little too much.
we're just
And
like,
I know who you're talking about. And
yeah.
to that person, you need to chill on that. Like, I know who you
I
are.
get it. I get it.
And
I get the anger and frustration, but
yeah.
anyway.
And look, he has every right to be angry and frustrated.
Yeah.
I that's okay, but dude, don't try to get like all up in people's faces.
Yeah.
Like that was a little bit much, don't you think?
It was a little over the top. But
yeah.
Anyway, like we're gonna still support the team and everything. And that's the thing. I support the team. I support the players. I know they're still
Try.
trying. They want to win. And part of me, like when the game ended, well, and of course there were the sell the team chants, everything, and
Which is fine.
as soon as the final whistle blew, the boos just rained down, and I get it. Just to the players, the fans aren't booing you so much as people, especially the people that get it. They're booing the ownership, the organization for basically
Right.
letting this happen. And
But
I feel bad because guys like Andrew Rick, CJ Olney,
yeah.
and it's like these, especially these young guys, they're out there, they're doing their best, and they're thrown into this, and it's just frustrating. Frustrations are piling up, and I'm hoping that we can get a result in Montreal. They just have this thing going on at home, which is unprecedented, and they've been better on the road. Even though they lost at Cincy, they showed a lot of fight. I think it has to do maybe with just the way they're doing their formations or whatever. I don't know, but
I have a stat, but I'm not going to send it because
yeah.
I don't want to jinx it.
Yeah,
but
please,
anyway,
please don't. But anyway,
let's
here's my thing. No,
okay.
Listen, fans, keep showing up. Okay.
Yes.
Keep showing up. Support the team. Okay. And if you are a quote unquote supporter, you're in Sons of Ben, Keystone Ultras, whatever. Okay. Remember why we're doing this. We're to support the team. And, are you going to be a fair weather fan, or are you going to support the team? Because what they need is the support. Okay.
They really do. Now, two things can be true. You can count.
You can also hold the accountable.
You can hold the ownership and team accountable.
But
at the end of the day, right now, this team really needs the fans. You can tell from the players' reactions. They need support right now. And I hate
going and telling them they suck is not going to
I hate to sound like the parents that you and I hate as coaches, where it's like Jimmy should get a trophy. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you should hold players accountable.
There's a difference between holding people accountable and just
Pandering,
being
like, yay,
yeah.
we're losing 6-0, yay, go Union. No,
No.
that
And here's the thing. The Cole Hamels retirement ceremony,
right,
which was fantastic, by the way. Okay, the game that followed it, not so much. But Cole Hamels even is like, you know, the fans they'll boo, and rightfully so when you're not doing well.
right,
And he's like, they hold us accountable. Like, in maybe not those exact words, but he basically said, yeah, fans will hold you accountable, but it's because they want the best from you.
right.
And
So,
Cole gets Philly fans get Bryce Harper, them they get it, and I know there's players on the Union that get it.
mhm.
Okay, but um, yeah, I think there's still need to support the team, but also be careful about getting like caught up in negativity. I think is it time for like a coffin or something?
No.
No, but
But we saw some pictures at the end. We saw Jack Elliott sitting on the ground.
yeah,
We saw
I sent you
Kai.
that. Do you have that picture loaded
Yes,
up?
we'll show these two pictures. So
Yeah,
before that, let's share a happy picture.
yeah.
This is you and Jane with the Fang.
Move that window there.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, yep. Fang and Jane, and I believe her name is Nia. We were, yeah, it's funny because in our section we are like, let's all just make sure we know each other's names, and it was loud though, so I think she said her name is Nia. But anyway, so yeah, we got Fang there, and then I took this picture immediately after the game ended, and Jack Elliott just went and sat on the ground.
Yeah, Jacob's just sitting there bent
And
over.
then, yeah, Jake was sitting over, and it made me sad sitting there. And I'm there with the Slocums,
Yeah.
and we did Jack came over then and talking to him. But this picture, credit to Conrad LeBlanc, he took this picture, and he said Kai was sitting there like 20 to 25 minutes after the game and just sitting there. And this picture is like kind of heartbreaking to me because I know Kai gives us all every game,
Mhm.
and he's been one of the most consistent players, I think.
Mhm.
He, of course, left the game. He had something with his hamstring, I think,
Like,
and it was like precaution. Like he was feeling, he told Jim, like, "Yeah, if I continue to play, I think I might, mess it up worse or something." So it was more precautionary, and hopefully he'll be good to go. But plus, it was it was also the fact that he's on yellow card accumulation warning.
mhm.
So anyway, but Conrad took this picture, and then he said he talked to Kai and gave him some words of encouragement, and like Kai gave him fist bump and everything. So
I
um
mean, I think
yeah,
everybody's looking into this. I think it's Kai just sitting there frustrated. He's
he
hurt,
is.
and
Kai's a gamer. He
he's
wants
trying to
to,
think about all he can do for his team. And right now, they're just it's just not working out, and it's
yeah.
okay. I've been there. I've been there as an
Mm-hmm.
athlete, and so keep your head up, Kai.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it gets better. And that's the thing. I hope that kills you, as we say. But
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see what happens now.
Yeah.
Union gotta go to Montreal and then Chicago.
Yeah.
These are two teams that they should beat on the road. They've been playing better on the road. You'd hope they beat them. At
Yeah.
least get a point.
Yeah.
Anything less, this is where you maybe gain some confidence, you hope.
Yeah. Yeah. I know
But
Montreal's missing Piet.
yeah, I mean, but at the end of the day, like, I mean, there's not a lot of confidence. I get it. But maybe two wins or two results on the road that we get
Need
points.
points. Need points.
I
A
mean,
win
it
would
get
be huge.
I mean, 2 wins on the road, next 2 games, you're going to Red Bulls thinking, "Okay, maybe we can turn the tide." I mean, you just gotta get confidence in this team. That's what
Yeah.
they need
And
right
speaking
now.
of Red Bulls, people better show up and show out for
Yes.
that game. And I say that as someone who's not gonna be able to go because I'm going to a wedding. I'm missing 2 games in July. I'm missing the Nashville one as well for a wedding. But
I will be there for both of them.
you're coming to my cousin's wedding. Anyway,
Anyway,
but yeah, July 6th. Yeah, I will miss that game due to a wedding. So unfortunately, and maybe it's my fault they've been losing it. Maybe a game I missed, they will win. Okay, I will be watching. But anyway,
or let's not go there.
No. Anyway,
Anyway, so
we're gonna be in Montreal though. We're
Yep.
excited. Montreal is an awesome city. We were there last August. We're excited to go back.
and if
And
you're listening and you're coming to Montreal, let us know. We'd love
yeah,
to meet up.
I do know of a bunch of people going, which is great. And so yeah, it's awesome. If you're going, lots of great sights to see. Definitely check out the botanical gardens. It's right by the stadium too.
And I will have a travel blog with some of our stuff from last summer
Yeah.
this week, so I'll post that as well. So keep a lookout for on TOTWAG.
Yep. And follow us on all of our social media platforms and everything. Just follow what we're doing at that.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll do some lives and stuff like that as well.
So until next time, this has been one episode of One Team We Agree On.
Yep. Be sure to follow and subscribe and share and spread the word and leave us comments. We love hearing from you. And again, you can find us on all your major podcasting platforms and on social media, as we said before. So follow us and yeah, comment and chat with us.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. And until next time, I'm Kyle.
I'm Jillian.
We'll see you at the game.